Everyone has an opinion on why students are broke. Spend less on coffee, stop eating out, get a job, and yeah, some of that is true. But it's also the laziest possible answer to a much bigger problem. Because I've seen students who never eat out, never party, never waste money on anything, and they're still broke. And I've seen students who spend freely and somehow make it work. So what's actually going on? I looked into it, and the real answer is a mix of things nobody is talking about at the same time. That's what this video is. The real reason most students stay broke is their relationship with money. Not their income, not their expenses, their relationship with money. Here is what I mean. Most students treat money as something that just appears and disappears. It comes in from a job or parents and it disappears on food, clothes, and random things. There is no intention behind it. No plan, no awareness. Money is just this invisible thing that flows in and out. And the students who break out of being broke are the ones who start treating money like it actually matters. Like every dollar has a job. Like spending is a choice, not just something that happens. I remember seeing money hit my account for the first time in college and thinking, okay, maybe I'm finally good financially. And for a little while, I felt rich. So I started spending without thinking too hard about it. Food runs, random Amazon purchases, eating out because I was too tired to cook. And none of it felt serious. That's the problem with student loan money. It doesn't feel connected to effort. When you work for money, you naturally think, was this really worth the hours I worked for it? But loan money just appears in your account all at once. So a lot of students slowly build more expensive lifestyles without realizing they're using borrowed money to do it. Not because they're irresponsible, because they're inexperienced. And by the time they realize how fast the money disappeared, the debt is already there. One thing I realized in college is that a lot of people look financially okay, even when they're not. You'll see people going out every weekend, buying new clothes, posting apartment setups online, eating expensive food like it's normal. And after seeing that enough, you start questioning yourself. You start thinking, am I the only broke student here? But honestly, a lot of that lifestyle is built on things people don't talk about. Rich parents refund checks, credit card debt, spending every dollar the second it arrives. Social media only shows the fun part. It never shows the stress after. And I think that pressure causes a lot of students to spend money they really shouldn't, just to avoid feeling left behind. Because nobody wants to feel like the broke friend all the time. I think one of the biggest reasons broke students stay broke is because spending becomes emotional. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way. College is stressful. You're tired, overwhelmed, comparing yourself to everybody else, trying to survive classes, work, and life at the same time. So spending starts feeling less like a financial decision, and more like a reward. You have a bad day, so you order food. You feel stressed, so you buy something online. You feel behind in life, so you spend money trying to feel normal for a little while. And the scary part is that emotional spending usually doesn't feel dangerous in the moment. It feels comforting. But over time, those small comfort purchases become habits. And habits are expensive. For the longest time, I thought saving money was about self-control. Like I just needed to be more disciplined. But honestly, motivation disappears fast. Especially when you're stressed, tired, busy, or mentally drained from school. That's why a lot of students fail financially even when they want to do better. Because they rely on motivation instead of systems. And systems are what actually save people money. Simple things like setting a weekly spending limit, meal prepping, deleting food delivery apps, automatically moving money into savings don't sound exciting, but they work. Because when your environment is built correctly, you make fewer bad decisions without even thinking about it. And honestly, that's way more reliable than trying to feel motivated every day. I used to tell myself, it's only $5. And honestly, that sentence probably kept me broke longer than anything else. Because the problem usually isn't one giant purchase. It's the constant small spending that feels harmless in the moment. Coffee here, snacks there, food delivery because you're tired, Uber because you don't feel like walking. And individually, none of it seems serious. But when you repeat those purchases every day, your money disappears without you noticing. I think that's why a lot of students feel confused financially. They aren't buying luxury cars or expensive watches. They're just leaking money constantly. And small leaks become big problems over time. So what actually helps students stop being broke? Honestly, it's usually not one giant moment. It's small habits repeated consistently. The students who improve financially usually start doing a few important things differently. First, they stop spending money just to look okay around other people. They stop trying to keep up with lifestyles they can't actually afford. Second, they build systems instead of relying on motivation. Things like budgeting, meal prepping, saving, automatically limiting impulse spending don't look exciting online, but they work in real life. And third, they start building skills. Because eventually, you can only save so much money. At some point, increasing your ability to earn matters too. And honestly, I think the biggest mindset shift is learning to think long-term. Instead of asking, what do I want right now? You start asking, will this help my future or hurt it? That's usually where financial change actually begins. I think one of the biggest lies students believe is that financial success happens all at once. Like one day you magically stop being broke. But honestly, most people stay broke, or escape being broke, because of small habits repeated for years. And that's actually good news. Because it means your future isn't decided yet. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need a six-figure business. You don't need to become rich overnight. But you do need to start paying attention to the habits you're building today. Because the way you treat money in college usually follows you into adulthood. And I think that's the real point of this video. Not to shame broke students. A lot of us are struggling right now. But struggling financially and staying financially stuck are two different things. And sometimes the first step toward changing your finances is just becoming aware of the cycle in the first place.